Hello friends, welcome to Knowledge India once again. In this particular tutorial, I'm going to talk to you about IELTS exam. Uh, I'm going to talk about some of the important tips which you can keep in mind and that will help you while you attempt for the exam. Uh, Understand that I'm not going to try and explain you that how should you prepare each and every section. Rather, in this particular video, what I'm going to focus is that what are those small things which you should keep in mind so that you go ahead and give your exam smooth. I've tried to note down some of them here and we'll talk about it quickly. First of all, while you are registering for the exam, you need to, of course, pick up the date that when do you want to write it. Normally, the date which it shows up in the website, that date is for the listening, reading, and writing test, right? So these three parts or these three sections happen together. So the date which you see on the website, that would be your LRW. And the speaking test happens on a different day. You cannot decide or you cannot choose that. So try to choose try to choose a date which is convenient to you. At least the LRW can happen on that fixed date. So for example, somebody might want to choose a Saturday so that the person has got has got holiday or has got leave on that day. So you may go ahead and choose that particular day. Now the speaking test typically happens around within 5 days from the LRW. So it might sometimes happen in 1 days or 2 days or whatever, but you will get to know about it only 1 week before the exam. Okay, so don't you will not know about it before itself. So if you have any travel plans, please try to plan all of that properly. Second thing is venue information. Now, depending on the fact that in which city you are registering your exam, you may get to know the venue uh, only like 5 days or 6 days before the actual exam date. So you'll not know it before itself. So don't be surprised. You will get email and you will get SMS as well regarding the venue details. Okay, and in the same email you will have the reporting time mentioned. Normally, you know, uh, in case of LRW, the first exam, uh, before you will be given a time, a reporting time, which would be like 1.5 hours before the actual test starts. So this 1.5 hours is used for the registration purpose. Your photograph is taken, your fingerprints are taken, and registration happens there. So you need to plan well and try to reach to the venue on time. Don't get late because there will generally be a lot of rush. So you would not want to, get caught being late and things like that. So don't be late. Okay. So another important thing is what all should you carry. Now, in the email which you get, also in the other document that the test paper or basically this test booklet, a test booklet you get, which can work like a practice test for you when you register for the exam. Within a week, you will receive this booklet, which will have around 3-4 tests which you can go through. So in the email and in this test booklet, you will have it written that you should not bring, like things like uh, uh, mobile phone. You should not bring wristwatch and all of that things, right? So understand that when you are going for the exam, you would not be allowed all of this. Don't wear watch because you will not be allowed to go with that. So just take pen, pencil, an eraser, basically, a sharpener to sharpen your pencils. That's all. And other than that, only your passport and a colored printout of your passport. Basically, the starting and the ending part of the passport, just the colored one. Please remember. Sometimes in some of their communication they write the word clear, but what they want is colored. So please take a colored printout, have your passport original, which is valid, pen, pencil, sharpener, eraser. That's all. That's all you need. You need not even carry water bottle because they'll give you water inside. Okay, so just carry less so that it is easy for you. Normally they'll have arrangement to deposit your bag so you can deposit everything there. So don't worry about it. Um, One of the very important things which you should plan is uh, the the breaks, especially the urinal breaks. Now, your LRW is like 40 minutes plus 1 hour plus 1 hour. It's like 2 hour 40 minutes, and in between, your paper distribution will happen. You will give back, or basically the collection of answer sheet would happen. Instructions would be given. So if you see overall, this this full exercise of LRW test would run somewhere around 3 hour 10 minutes or 15 minutes to be precise, right? Totally. Whereas the effect, within which the effective time which you are going to get would be 2 hour 40 minutes. So it's important to plan your breaks properly. First of all, during the registration process, which is going to be 1.5 hours, right? I mean, that's the overall time which they have allocated, but you would, I mean, for one person, it typically takes like 5 to 7 minutes. Now, they normally announce that if you want to use washroom, go ahead and use the washroom now, because once you start the test, you would not be able to go. Well, it's not that you would not be able to go, but understand that if you go to washroom, there are certain restrictions, and also you lose time, right, while you're writing the paper. So one of my suggestions in this case would be that do not drink a lot of water, you know, around 2 3 hours before the exam. Normally, what happens is while we are, you know, waiting for the waiting for the registration, or before we get into the examination hall, we drink a lot of water. So my suggestion would be try to take less amount of water in the last 3 hours before the exam. So that way you don't need to take a lot of breaks. Try to go to washroom once before you do your registration process. Now, once you are inside, then even then you will be able to take breaks. But important thing to remember is that when should you take a break? Now, during any of the sessions, meaning listening, reading, and writing, you are not allowed to go for a break, or you are not allowed to go to washroom in the last 10 minutes. Okay, so the last 10 minutes is basically in every section. The last 10 minutes is when you would be given a warning that time is about to be over. You finish all your stuff, and then you submit the answer sheets and the question paper as well, right? So in the last 10 minutes in any of the section, you cannot go ahead and go to washroom. So keep that in mind. So the best time would be, ideally, the best time would be that normally it happens that in the reading section we will have time remaining. So you may plan and go sometime in between, and during the reading section you can go for a washroom, or maybe in writing section when you have finished one task you may go ahead and you go that time. uh, of course, listening, you would not want to go because the whole audio is just played only once, so there's no chance that you can go for a break in the listening section, right? So please plan that properly. Plan it in the mid time in reading or in the writing. Okay. Sometimes people are confused, and it is not written very clearly, at least in the test booklet, that whether to use pen or pencil. So understand that for listening and reading, you need to use pencil only to answer. Okay. To fill the answer sheet, you should use pencil only. Whereas the writing section, you can go ahead and use pencil or pen. It's your choice. So remember that you need to carry pencil, sharpener, eraser. Okay. Uh, Understand that the question paper which you get, you can go ahead and use that question paper for all your rough work. Nobody is gonna, nobody is going to check it or mind it, so you can go ahead and use it for all your rough work. Okay. But remember, listening and reading, it is pencil, writing, it is pen. All right, and how will you track time? So when you're inside the examination hall, every time a particular section starts, there will be a watch in front of you, and they will note down the time when a particular section starts. So for example, let's say your listening starts at 3:10. So the 3:10, or let's say 15:10 in 24-hour format. So they will go ahead and write 15:10 in a piece of paper, and then there would be time checks, right? In case of reading and writing, it would be more relevant actually. So there will be time checks like now 40 minutes are remaining, or 20 minutes are remaining, 10 minutes are remaining, and so on. It would be written in a piece of paper. You can see that. Also, there would be a big digital watch which will help you to track time. So don't worry about that. You'll be able to see the time and everything. Uh, when the first section starts, which is basically listening, they give you time to check that whether the audio device which you are going to use is working or not. They'll just play the audio, and all of you can listen. And in case there's a problem in your device, you should raise your hand, say that yes, it is not working. Please make sure that it is working properly, because once the section starts, after that, if there is a problem and you had not checked it, then basically you are on the losing end. So please make sure that your audio equipment is working. Okay. All right. Uh, so we talked about taking the break already. In terms of reading, uh, in, the first section, which is listening, you get to listen, and you can mark your answers in the question paper. Then you get extra 10 minutes, right, where you can transfer all the answers from the question paper to the answer sheet. Whereas in case of reading section, there's no such additional time. You get 60 minutes in totally, and you will have to, it's up to you. So some people, they choose to first mark it in the question paper and then they transfer it into the answer sheet. Some people directly write it into the answer sheet. It's your choice. Okay. So generally, what I would suggest is use a pen or pencil or whatever you like in the question paper, mark things, and then when you're confident, just transfer it to your answer sheet. For all the rough work, marking, trying out things or anything, use your question paper without any problem. In terms of writing section, where you are going to write really long sections, right? So there are two tasks. Task one is around 150 words. Task two is around 250 words. So you should go ahead and of course write it. The point is that if in case you want extra answer sheets, you may ask for it in case of writing section. Some people write it in such a manner that their words will have a lot of spacing in between, right? So for such people, you don't have to worry. You can take extra answer sheets, not a problem. Okay. Understand the speaking test happens on a different day. Of course, that would be specified in your email itself, so don't worry about it. Uh, in case of the day when you go for speaking test, you don't need even a pen, right? Wherever you need to make some notes or write something, they'll give you pen and paper. You don't need to wear a watch again, right? All of those things you can keep in your bag outside. Again, same thing, just your passport and a colored printout, that's all. Okay, reach on the time given. Normally it would be 30 minutes before your actual time of interview. So for example, if your interview is there at 12 o'clock, a time would be given as 11:30. You should reach there by 11:30. So reach there on time, be relaxed, have some water, and after that, you will be called for registration process. It will take less than 2-3 minutes for that registration to happen. They'll just basically check you and the passport, ask you to tap your finger for the fingerprint thing, and then you would be asked to wait, and then you'll be taken to a room where the interview happens. Interview gets recorded, right? So that's a good thing. It gets recorded. People are really calm. They make sure that you understand the process and you go through the interview peacefully. So be relaxed, just attend it normally. It doesn't take more than 15-20 minutes. The examiner or the interviewer will explain you properly before every activity that what are they going to ask and how should you answer, or what you should do. Of course, you would have prepared before itself, so I'm not going to get inside that. So those are the things. Some of these things, the reason why I try to just cover these stuff in a video is some of these things are not written, always at one place, and we sometimes ask. For example, there was confusion that whether we should use pen, pencil, or things like that. So I just thought of putting all of these things at one place. Uh, Once again, at last, during your LRW, plan your water intake and washroom breaks properly. Okay. Other than that, I think it should be all good. All the best. Go ahead, plan it, write well. See you again. Bye bye.